and welcome to Colins Time to Bake. This week we are making a ridiculously delicious and addictive zebra domes. Found in Beaumont in the Animal Kingdom Lodge in Walt Disney World, these things are my favourite desserts. They really are delicious. They are quite tricky, so let's get started. I would like to start by saying this recipe comes from DisneyFoodBlog.com. They have recipes for everything that is in Disney World. It's amazing. So it's safe to say I'm obsessed with their website and I'll be probably making some more desserts from them. So check them out. I've put the link in the description below. I have embellished slightly and I have added in what to do for the cake and for the white ganache. So start by making 2 basic Swiss rolls. For that, blend 150 grams of castor sugar with 5 eggs and whip it until doubled in size. Then spoon in 150 grams of self-raising flour and then fold this in gently. Pour this into a 23 by 30 centimeter lined Swiss roll tin, should be a long rectangular flat one. Then pop into the oven at 200 degrees for about 7 to 10 minutes. You'll know it's ready because it's springy to the touch and feels like the consistency of a sponge. Then take it out and leave to cool on a wire rack. Do not roll it up. This is not a Swiss roll. Now melt 450 grams of white chocolate. At the same time, whip up 900 milliliters of double cream to soft peaks, not too hard, but soft peaks. And then put 6 gelatin leaves or gelatin substitute into some cold water. Make 60 milliliters of espresso. I did this by putting 2 teaspoonfuls of instant coffee into 60 milliliters of boiling water. Made it really strong but super tasty. Keep going because this is all happening at the same time. I know, right? Take 5 egg yolks and mix in with 70 grams of castor sugar and blend this together. In a double boiler, now pour 120 milliliters of Kahlua, that's alcohol, so if you don't want to use alcohol, just make more coffee. Pop in the gelatin leaves and pour in your espresso. Heat until the gelatin melts. Once it's melted, take it off the heat, and now you want to start putting everything together. Fold in 1/3 of the cream into the white chocolate, which should still be a little bit runny. If it has solidified, just heat it up a little bit. Then add your yolk and sugar mixture and stir this together. Pour in your warm gelatin Kahlua coffee mix and then fold in the rest of the cream. Leave this until it cools slightly and becomes a little bit like a thick cream. Honestly though, by this point I was exhausted. I have silicone cake pop molds. This is what I use for it. You can buy silicone molds other places, but I found silicone cake pop molds or other cake pop molds will probably work just the same. Do you want to take your mousse mixture? This is what we just made, is mousse mixture, just in case you haven't been paying attention. Pour some of the mousse mixture into the molds. Now you'll want to take your Swiss rolls, which should have cooled by now, and cut circles the same size as the bottom of the divots and place on top. These are going to be the base, so you think about flipping up and down. Refrigerate all this until it sets. Once it's set, you need to take it out. This is where it gets super tricky because you need to make sure that you're getting these out nice and safe without ruining the dome shape. And the best thing to do is take a teaspoon, run it around the outside to separate it from the mold, and plop it onto a glazing rack. Now, a glazing rack, as I'm understanding, is just basically a regular cooling rack but has an extra cross hatch onto it, which makes it smaller holes, but you can hold more delicate things onto it. This means that when you're glazing, you can let everything drip down and then you can reuse it if you want to. I didn't have this, so I just put this onto a cutting mat and well, went from there. So you'll see what happens. So you scoop it out, pop them down, do this with all of them. Quickly rinse out your silicone molds and then put the rest of the mousse. Oh yes, this recipe makes about 80 of these things. So yeah, put some more mold in, put the rest of the cakes on the top and then pop it in the fridge again for 2 hours while you're busy glazing the rest. If you think this is far too much, half the recipe and then you're pretty much done. You're on your way. For the white chocolate ganache, if you're doing all 80, I would recommend making the ganache just in one go and you can reheat it up a little bit later on. Probably not the best thing to do, but that's what I did and it seemed to work. So take 350 grams of white chocolate and 180 milliliters of double cream and melt this all together in a pan. I didn't have enough white chocolate to start with, so I had to add it to it. Lesson learned. Leave this to cool until it's got a bit like the consistency of golden syrup. So here is where the glazing rack would have come in handy. Instead of just pouring everything over the top of it and then letting it sit and pool around the outside, it would have dripped down and I could have reused it and done a second glaze. So here's where you can see where my runny ganache didn't work and why I had to add in melted chocolate because it was far too runny and you know, the whole thing's a mess. I make mistakes, so you don't have to. Once glazed, leave to set in the fridge for an hour. This is quite important. Then take it out and melt 100 grams of dark chocolate in a pan, and then using a spoon, drizzle zigzags over the top, just like zebra stripes, and ta-da! Zebra dome. Time for the taste test. Well, they were a bit of a faff to make, but here they are, tiny, tiny zebra domes. We'll see what they taste like. Hopefully they'll be the same. 10 out of 10 for taste. 1 out of 10 for appearance. Hey! So there you have it, my attempt at zebra domes from Animal Kingdom Lodge and Boma Restaurant. Thank you very much to DisneyFoodBlogs.com for the recipe. Super tricky, fun to make, and absolutely delicious to eat. So even if you get it wrong, then this is fantastic. Just spin that into your mouth. Don't forget to follow me on all the social media and go onto my website, colinstime2bake.com. Don't forget to check out my other videos for Travel Tuesdays, where I blog about anything I've eaten around the world, which is quite nice. So my name is Colin, this is Colin's Time to Bake. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. I have no idea what's going on with my hair today.